Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to what I have decided is going to be called my Monday Mardle, which is basically going to be me talking at you for about 5 to 10 minutes, not much longer, as we start the week off about various issues from the weekend gone and of course what's coming up over the coming week. So thank you for joining me for number one. Can't even remember what I've titled it now, something about a long road, which it was, but more of that in a tick. So first of all, I should probably say thank you for finding this video and finding me on YouTube, because it was all kind of quite buried away. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because then you'll obviously get a notification if I do more videos, which I'm guessing you might want to see, but then at least then you can pick and choose, do it in knowledge, so that is good. Yes, if this all looks a bit like sort of ripping off Talk Norwich City rip-offs, then that's fair enough. It probably is. If I get a fifth of their traffic, I'll be happy, because those boys are very good. But basically this is a kind of avenue for me to still do some videos, which I think a few of you were a little bit worried what wasn't going to happen when I joined the Athletic. So there is of course this, and obviously I'll be telling you about the various stories I'm doing over the Athletic and other bits and bobs too. So thanks for finding me. Spread the word in case anyone thinks that I've disappeared off the face of the planet. I can assure you I most definitely haven't. And welcome to the Rush Cutters. It is absolutely beautiful here by the river, one of my favourite spots in the world. Certainly Norwich, and it's just about dry, so that's good too. I should also say thank you to everyone who has joined the Athletic since I became a part of them, and we of course launched it. It means a lot. I hope you feel that you're getting good value for for your money, because it's not a lot of money, but it's, I think you can see from those people on there that we're doing something different, and we're gonna hopefully make a positive impact on football journalism. I think that's the best way of putting about it. I am so excited and thrilled to be a part of it, and have really enjoyed what I've done so far. So if you're on there, good stuff, thank you. Send comments, and there are Q&As and all sorts. I'll be on there regularly interacting, and of course if you haven't yet and you want to, the address is theathletic.co.uk, and you'll find a code in the notes on this video and on my Twitter bio and things like that, should you wish to join up, which I'm sure some of you might want to do. It's clearly a little bit different for me, as it is for you guys, but change can be good. Change can be good, and of course Norwich have changed because they're in the Premier League. That was the whole point of last season. So nice neat segue into Liverpool. Just a few brief reflections. Obviously you'll see my video verdict, which was kind of slapdash, and I put it together quite quickly, but I have put some ratings up on my Instagram story, player ratings. I don't know if I'm going to do those week in, week out. I haven't really decided. If anyone's really desperate to see them, then let me know, but I'm not too sure. But rest assured, I thought Tim Krul did really well with everything that was thrown at him. I thought Timu Pukki was my man of the match, because he had such a positive impact going forwards, as did a few players, and Emi, his pass to create Timu's goal was lovely to see, because that bodes really well going forwards, although someone seemed to take issue with a player scoring on their first shot on target not being something that bodes well. I don't really understand that, but there we go. It was an interesting debate on Twitter. Quite clearly Ben, Jamal and Max at the back grew into the game as it went on, and that of course is, if you take everything they've learned from that first 45 minutes and you saw how they improved, then that of course equally bodes well. And Todd Cantwell too, with just how he went about the game, real bravery, which was great to see, because that was probably his best performance in a Norwich shirt, when you consider that he didn't really feature as much as he probably would have wanted to last season. I think that's something really exciting for him going forwards. So yeah, if you want to see the actual numbers, they're on my Instagram story, but I'm not too sure if that will carry on. The only other thing I did want to pick up on the game that I didn't feel like I did justice was Liverpool's fourth goal. Obviously they're defending for the third and fourth, suspect in places, but the Trent Alexander-Arnold's ball for the fourth goal for Divock Origi's second was just sublime. It's such a beautiful ball into the box. The fade on it just plays as much of a part in taking everyone out of that move, apart from Divock. It was just a wonderful move, and let's be honest, sometimes, and quite a bit this season, there will be just too much quality for Norwich to deal with at the back, because Liverpool will do that to pretty much all the Premier League sides at some point this season, and they were very good, by the way. You may have noticed I did the game very differently. I covered it. I set off with the fans on the official club coaches. I came back with them as well. It was basically 8 hours there, 8 hours back. It was fairly ridiculous in a lot of ways, but it was lovely watching the game from the stands, and again got a real appreciation for that opening night drama. It was really a lovely thing to do, and putting together the piece, as I tweeted, is about as enjoyable as anything I've written in a long time. Lovely speaking to the fans. Thank you to all of them who spoke to me, especially on coach too. It was a real pleasure to share the day with you, and I have a feeling that the day will get retold quite a lot, certainly in those worst trip scenarios that come up every now and then. Thank you to Norwich City Football Club as well for making it possible for me to do the journey, and I think all in all, it was a lot of fun. You can read the whole piece, 2,500 words of it, but there are one or two good lines in there. That's of course all over at The Athletic, and seems to have gone down well, which I'm really happy about. Which of course really just flips us on to Saturday's game. We're envisaging quite a quiet week, to be honest, which will be lovely given the last two, certainly for me, have been nuts, and of course the transfer window threw up all sorts over the last few weeks. Trains at the rush cutters, by the way. It's interesting watching Newcastle against Arsenal, because I actually thought they were pretty decent in the first half, and they created some really good chances. Almiron looks like a very useful player, and he clearly finds pockets and gets in behind. So Norwich will have to be aware of him. There's no doubt about that. Joel Linton, there's obviously something there. You're talking about a player who costs 40 million quid. And the thing is, you look at the Newcastle squad and you think, okay, well, the second half they were a lot poorer. Arsenal grabbed real hold of the game and ultimately, of course, went on and won it. So there's an element of looking at the Newcastle team and going, wow, yeah, if we can't win these games at Carrow Road, might as well all go home. And clearly, as difficult as the Premier League is, there will be that element to it. But they are still going to be at a level above anything Norwich played last season, and you can tell just in that first half how much quality they've got still going forwards, and how they will find and use spaces really well. So how they take on the trip to Carrow Road will be interesting. By all accounts, they've returned a fair few tickets. It's not going to be a full allocation, and everything is certainly not well at Newcastle. Chris Wall wrote a brilliant piece about following the fact the Newcastle fans that did go to the game, those that were boycotting it as well, and they are in a bit of a mess in that situation. It's a really unhappy ship, and I don't really understand how they correct that, because there are some really deep divisions that won't be healed without drastic changes. So Newcastle are going to arrive in a peculiar place. It's not a great place for football club stability either, and progress. So they've got a few things on their plate. For Norwich, it's very different. Lots of positivity off the back of Friday night, of course, and I think we all appreciate that Norwich won't be playing Liverpool every week, so let's see what they can do against a side that isn't as good as Liverpool. And not being disrespectful, that is very much the truth. And how Norwich go about it at home as well. I thought Moritz Leitner was excellent when he came on at Anfield, and I can definitely see the benefits of him starting, especially at Carrow Road. But Daniel isn't going to be one for too many changes, I think, even now. The only other one where I would probably look at is Ibrahim Amadou. It's quite early for him, but he will be fit by all accounts. And it may have been said, I don't know, but all I've heard is this is a player that they're excited about, they're happy to have, and they think can make a real impact. And I think you can, even from the game at Anfield, see where Norwich are slightly lacking in the protection. And to be honest, I thought Tom did pretty well in patches on Friday night, but he's not the same type of player that can really excel in that position in those games, because you do have to be so athletic, so physical, and kind of have you need to dominate your own area. And even at a place like Anfield, the players who can really step up will do that. Christ, it's only been 45 minutes for Tom or whichever, so I'm not writing him off, but we'll see. Clearly, I think Amadou is someone who can make a real impact in that position. So it'll be interesting how Daniel sort of takes it on, and whether he changes it. And the atmosphere will be interesting too. I think there is going to be some pressure on Saturday, but I think in general the fans will be like, you know what, let's take this on and see how we go. And I think it's it's fine until you get maybe 4 or 5 games into the season if things haven't really picked up. But I don't want to say that, because there were so many positives from Friday night, and I think there is a bit of momentum that I think it's a great opportunity on Saturday if Norwich can stick to their guns and be so proud of how they're going to go about this and take confidence from that. That is what can make the difference most definitely as they take on the game. So we will see. I will be there at Carrow Road. I'm not doing a 17-hour coach journey either. I'm not doing a journey down from Newcastle or anything silly like that. So it's good. I'll be in the press box. I'll be there. I'll be tweeting away. I'll be outside the ground. So say hello. Do as you will. Which is always nice, of course. And then just a little bit of an insight to my general week on I'll probably do one of these videos on a Monday if I can. I might do one during the week. I might try and do a preview if I can, but also you will of course get my video verdict after the game. That will basically be on my Facebook page, which the handle is @mbjourno, or on here on Twitter, on YouTube even, and I'm sure you can find the channel for that. There will also be a Q&A over at the Athletic post-game, and on a Wednesday lunchtime will be the plan, so you can come over and chat to me on there, which will be lovely to see you. We'll do that for about an hour on a Wednesday, and I'll have a regular weekly column which will be in on Thursdays. I say in, it's not a physical product, but it'll be up on the sites. It's my old print speak there. See, I told you, I'm struggling to adjust as well. So yeah, my column will generally be for a Thursday, and that will go live, I think, on first thing in the morning, and you'll be able to read that from Thursday and Friday. And I think that's all there is, and there will of course be other stories and interviews and features that I put together. All of it will hopefully be of good quality and of things you want to read about and learn about. But if there's any ideas or anything, I will always take them. Just add in on the comments wherever you're watching this, and I will make sure and endeavour to interact with you all as much as I possibly can on those avenues. Obviously, to be part of what happens at the Athletic, you do need to join and subscribe. I hope you find it worth it. You can find all the links where you need to, especially in the comments in this video. But I think I'm going to wrap it up. The guy's on the boat, bringing back Thorpe Island boats, so that's exciting. It's only just spitting and I've still got my tea to drink. Hope you have a lovely week. Enjoy it, because Premier League football is back at Carrow Road on Saturday. What could possibly be better? Cheers.